Hello fellow YouTubers, welcome back to YouTube Gaming Community number 122. Basically I call this a show because I don't know what else to call it. Basically I talk about, things going on in the YouTube gaming community, gaming news, video games in general, whatever I find interesting each time I make a video. And our topic today is, what do you expect out of a beta? Now I'm going to take example of two different betas that recently happened. Gears of War 3 beta, which the cool thing they did in that beta that got people on board was you could unlock certain things early in the game if you got into the beta, played so long. And that beta got a very positive response from everybody, spurred pre-orders, and of course spurred them having a good first week of sales. Battlefield 3 beta, why not getting land-based by everybody by any stretch of the imagination. The people who are loyal to Battlefield are loyal to this series until they play the full game, and you'd have to have a couple of games actually be bad for people to stop playing it. But they're very loyal to the game. But some people in the beta for that game have been judging the whole game on a beta. Now, their topic today is, what do you expect out of a beta? Because beta to me means an inherently broken game. Now, all games are inherently broken, let's be honest. They're just waiting for people to find the flaws in them. But when you play a beta, you cannot expect it to be very refined. You can't expect that to be the current version of the game that they got out. It may be an older version because it runs smoother or whatever. But a beta is inherently unbalanced. It's going to have a lot of bugs and a lot of flaws. Listen, no matter how many testers they put on a game, no matter how many hours they put in it, they're truly not going to find all the bugs and all the flaws until they put out to thousands or millions of people, play it at one time. And because gamers are very, very creative, there are people who play online, just sit there and goof around and try to find every bug and flaw there is. That's why they put it out to the public, because a lot of us are very creative and just goof around and do something that might accidentally expose a bug in the game. Also, it allows them to see how balanced the multiplayer really is. They could see if a certain weapon or whatever is overpowering, overwhelmingly unbalanced. It allows them to see things that may be wrong that they never even dreamed of until that. In the same way, experience should be with a gamer. When you go into playing a beta, you shouldn't expect to be the exact game you're going to buy. It's going to be, here's an idea what the game could be. Now, betas are great for people who, let's take Battlefield 3. Let's say you didn't like Call of Duty very much, and you're not really a shooter fan, but you want to try that to see maybe if this game will interest you. And that's where beta may work out for those people. But for the hardcore audience, beta isn't going to change anything. So, it's like the opposite way with demos, right? A demo, they should put out the best parts of the game in a demo, because that, if I'm usually downloading the demo, that usually means I'm probably on the fence of buying the game. And if that demo is good, I might buy it. But if that demo is bad, there's no way I'm buying that game. And there's been a lot of demos I play about, wow, this demo isn't very good. Why would I buy this game? And so, what do you expect when you play a beta? That's our topic for today. So, let's get to some of the comments from YouTube Gaming Community number 121 about, I just love that title. I don't know, that title just made me laugh when I put that title in my video. So, let's talk about YouTube allowing some partner channels to put ads on their video and make a little money. And I'm going to read two of the many comments Mark Vajir left on this video. But the first comment he left was, the offer is nothing more than a similar message to the one about being able to record longer than 15 minutes, but then the option to monetize on videos. I think it is completely random on which this is offered, and doubt it will be beneficial at all, if not very restricting and defacing videos. I loathe ads, would have to think real hard if partnership ever became an option, as it seems more of a hassle than something beneficial. And then the second account was, G Darius is an awesome shmup, great stuff. I ignore the offer YouTube made me for monetizing with ads on my video, as I personally think the ads deface the videos. Now, for a lot of people who don't understand, if you become a partner or make money on YouTube, the rules are more restricting than if you're not a partner. YouTube also has the right at any time when you're a partner to pull your ad off your channel or video off your channel, and there's nothing you can do about it. YouTube has much stricter on you with copyright when you're a partner than non-partner, and some people would argue they're not. Trust me, if you're a partner, there are certain things they will not allow they will not approve if you put a video up compared to someone who's not a partner. Now, as for the opinion of they think they face videos or not, that's up to each person. I'll get into the ads a little bit later. People think of them. So Lev Pepe 38 said, I think it's good. Now people can see that you don't make all that much money and stop worrying about becoming a YouTube partner. Just make videos because you love it. That's just my opinion. Now, it would show people how much people really make. Again, I think if they did everybody, to be honest, I think if everybody were to get money off ads, I think it'd be a lower rate than being a partner. They'd still want the partner to mean something. But I think the people who love to make videos make videos. I think a lot of people, honestly, who chase partnership originally make videos because they love games or the games are showing or something. But along the way, as they got closer in subscribers and views to getting that partnership, they started chasing it and abandoned what made people watch them in the first place, because they unwillingly realize, you know what, I want that, and they go after it. And I think that's ultimately what happens to some group of people. Other people want it from the very beginning. But next up is Pick Up Play 5 said, I was wondering about the ad thing, as we got an offer for one of our videos a couple months ago. We decided not to bite since we're still really small and don't want to drive away any of our current subscribers or defer future subscribers with ads in our videos. This may be something to consider in this future though, as having the little extra income could help a lot with trying to save for a new camera or HD capture card, which, as you mentioned, would greatly help with video quality. And there is this, by the way, when you're really small or whatever it is, there is this attitude towards people, a negative if you have ads on your videos and they won't want to watch your video. When you become a certain size, okay, the bigger channels in our community, whatever one you want to pick, and you start becoming on everybody's checkout channel list and everybody starts liking your videos, despite the ads, you get out there to everybody and everybody goes to your channel and will watch it and like it or not like it. When you're smaller and you decide to add ads, the downside to that is a lot of people like, he's got ads, I don't want to watch his video. Whereas it's a bigger channel, they kind of don't pay attention, they expect that, but in a smaller channel they don't. And as far as how YouTube picks people, it seems to be very random. I've had some people say they only had 2 videos up and they got picked for the ads, and other people have had multiple. It seems to be a very random thing for whatever reason. There's nothing you can do to get it for people that think, oh, I need to do this or do that for the ad thing. And I don't think they want it to be that way, by the way. I think it's just one of those things. Look at that channel here. Here's an ad. Like, I'll give you an example. I was looking on Social Blade the other day. On the 6th of this month. By the way, I looked on Social Blade because I had this weird thing happen where my videos went over 200, like 202, and I was like, I didn't make 202 videos. And then all of a sudden, on the 6th, they changed the video back, but on Social Blade, they knocked 3,000, 3,600 views off my videos. I don't know what happened. They had a hiccup or whatever it was. But, you know, actually, I did actually go past the 200 video mark, which is kind of cool. Didn't even realize I made 200 videos, to be honest with you. It doesn't even seem I've been making videos as long as I have. So Corn Muffin X said, YouTube set out my account for ad revenue a couple weeks ago. There is a check beforehand for placing ads that specifically mentions game footage as something that can't have ads. There is also some type of revenue process as well. It seems that if you don't pass a review, your video may be removed, so hopefully it stops people from doing underhand stuff. And yes, I know YouTube has a very strict thing about gameplay footage when it comes to making money off of it. Because I know that there's a very sticky line with copyright on that, in a way, you know, who determines whether that's copyright or not. But as for the underhand stuff, I do think if everybody was to make ad revenue, then YouTube would be able to catch these videos that are, you know, underhanded garbage that's out there. But then again, if they were to do it for everybody, YouTube would have to ramp up their staff to be, you know, checking out every video before you place an ad on it. And I don't know if they want to do that just yet. And other people made the point about how, you know, if YouTube were to give me the ad thing, that I would validate what I do. Maybe it's being me, someone who never likes to follow the grain. I never like to follow what everybody else does. You know, in the older days, I would always like to find those games no one else played, and I'm starting to do that again, where I'm more interested in the games people aren't playing than the games people are. But I would never consider, if they were say, hey, here's ad revenue on one video, or all your videos are a partnership, as a validation of what I do. I'm happy what I do. That's the only validation I need. And that, or in you know, all the communications I get with other people and comment stuff, that's the only validation I need from a video. I don't think it's kind of like that parent-child relationship you have. Then you're always looking for their approval, and then if you never get it, you would get kind of discouraged. Which, I mean, that's why I wouldn't be any validation for me. But I know some people need that kind of thing. Need someone to tell them, hey, you're doing a great job, or else they get discouraged. So anyway, Steve Benway's comment was, for me, the ads are a small cherry on the cake. They aren't an incentive in themselves, as I have been very happy making lots of videos for several years without them. And I continue to make videos without them. I do it for the love of it and to embed on my website. To me, they're a little bonus where YouTube or Google says, hey, let's give you a little something for all that time you spent. It's never going to pay a lot, but when money is tight, you take when it's offered. That's a really cool comment. You know, it is more of a cherry topping on the cake kind of thing, an incentive, not I have to have this or else kind of thing. So let's get to the videos to check out I got this time. And the first one is by Goron50. Let's play Travel Socks Nyanko-Life 2. Just a game I've never seen before. Just, you want to check it out. It's one of those, I almost want to say Timachi games, but you have to check it out. It's really cool. Game I've never seen before. Next up is Chipsturs' rare Nintendo iQue system review. Congratulations to him for he's back on YouTube again. You know, he had some laptop problems. He had to get a new laptop. If you've never seen the Nintendo iQue, I know this system that never came out over here. It's a really cool system to see. Next up, HappyConsoleGamer Neo Geo Memories Part 1. You know, I always like when people talk, you know, passionately and emphatically about the memories of old games. That's just one of the things I love about people in the game community. And again, he has a very love for the Neo Geo, so nice to check that out. Next up is GameStr81's Commodore 64 plug-and-play joystick review. This simply is a plug-and-play I've never seen before. If you want to see what it looks like or see some of the games, check it out. Next up is Finn Gamer, 10,000 subscriber, thank you. So congratulations to him for hitting 10,000 subscriber. It's always cool when people hit a milestone. You know, it's ironically, because he was the second game room tour I've ever seen on YouTube. I believe the first game room tour I ever saw was Pete Dorr, but the second one was his, and it was unbelievably awesome at the time when I saw it. So congratulations to him. Next up, LarryBundyJr, 80s Activision UK promo, 8-bit Sega arcade ports with some commentary involved, where basically, you know, he put some text in to let you understand. So it's really cool seeing these promos for like Enduro Racer and stuff on computer games. And what he does is he shows you the promo, but also he puts little things like, okay, they're showing you the Commodore 64 that they're playing on, but they're actually playing the Spectrum version, and the actual sounds are from the arcade game and stuff like that. It's really cool to check out those old promos and to see what they actually did in them. The Wonder Boy one, oh man, that thing, compared to the game I know, that thing looks totally different. So next up, FreddieW Splinter Cell Lightbulb Assassination. This video cracks me up because sometimes when you play a game, you think it's cool, but then when you actually see what it would look like in real life, you're like, wow, that's really stupid. Like, he continually breaks the light bulbs and the guy who he's following doesn't even notice. It's just kind of funny. By the way, you know, he announced in one of his recent videos that they're doing a full feature length series. I guess there's going to be 9 episodes called Video Game High, which basically is going to be where, you know, video games are the professional sport in the future, and this kid comes to this new school and he beats the #1 video game guy there, kind of thing. It'd be interesting how, you know, how it turns out and everything. It's really cool that they're doing something like that. So for another congratulations, Blue XEFHOS, because I don't want to butcher the pronunciation of it, 1 million subscriber celebration. So it's really cool that they hit 1 million subscribers, and congratulations to them. They do a little comedy thing about hitting 1 million subscribers, where the one guy has this big confetti thing and wakes up the other guy with it. So if you're interested, check that out. Next up is SuperPaniLand. She basically talks about FIFA 12, the Battlefield 3 beta, Minecraft, and the EB Expo. So if you want to hear her opinions on that, check that out. Next up is Captain 8-Bit, the Game Chasers Take PAX Part 1. The reason why I shout this video out, I know there have been a lot of PAX videos, is they showed different footage from PAX I haven't seen before. You know, then with a lot of different YouTubers, you know, the game places they go to, and it's cool stuff like that. I know they've been in the shout out a lot recently in the community videos, and so next week they are not going to be shout out at all, because I have this rule: when I shout some people out too often, I can, like, okay, I can't shout those people out for a while, because sometimes it's time for other people to take their spot, and they get the spotlight for a little while. So, but anyway, very entertaining video if you want to check that out with them doing the, you know, the Angry Video Game Nerd, you know, his game board playing stuff and all other cool stuff that happened, what they did around PAX. So next up is LotsofGames NBA 2K12 First Impressions, where he talks about his first impressions of and how he's always liked basketball games. And if you want to check out his review, go to LotsofGamesReviewed NBA 2K12 review. Just check out the full review of that game. Looks really cool. It's kind of cool. I like that they're going back to, you know, showing the older players involved in new ones. And considering that may be the only NBA basketball you're going to see this year, you may definitely want to check out the review if you're an NBA fan. And next up is MooreGamesJay, game ruining spoilers. And what he talks about is today in our world of constant media where we see trailers of games before they come out and media talk about it, that does all that spoil the game for you. Like Uncharted 3, there have been so many trailers and gameplay footage of that and so much stuff that does that ruin the game because you see everything that might have been a surprise as you play the game. You know, back in the earlier days when there wasn't all this coverage, there were so many wow moments because you didn't know that was going to happen, whereas today, because you watch all these things, you may not have as many wow moments in those games or surprises anymore. And last but not least, AlphaOmegaSin, since we're getting close to Halloween here, we need better Freddy and Jason video games. You know, the only Freddy and Jason video games I remember is LJN. And no, they weren't very good, even though for some reason they still hold a nostalgic place in my heart when I play them. I don't know why they're not very good. But one of the things he talks about is, why isn't there, you know, anybody making a Freddy or Jason a good game? To me, it'd be cool, and I mentioned in the comment in the video about that, I think it'd be cool if somebody actually took all the horror film characters together and made a really good fighting game. Anyway, so guys, that's all for now. I will see you all on Wednesday.